What's good? Bevan here with Tried and True EDC. The Mech Wallet from PunCube is what we're going to be taking a look at today. Kind of diving in, looking at all the specs and whatnot, really giving you a better idea of what this wallet is all about. So the packaging is nicely done. Got a little card to kind of give you very simple instructions. One specifically to put uh, the money clip on the back of the wallet and how the mechanics work on it. So set this aside. Nice and neatly packaged. Look at that. I'm going to put these on the side. I don't need that anymore. All right, so I've got some cards in here already, but let's talk about the build quality. So the material is using aerospace grade 6063 aluminum, and they did a nice job with the chamfering. There's no real hot spots or sharp edges. This portion right here might be the sharpest edge there is, like right along the edges of each of the sides. But this is nicely rounded around here. And we've got the mechanism that it's using. This one's called a Wasteland, and this is in the aluminum, as I've mentioned. They also have a titanium version for a different price point. So all you do is you slide that upwards and you have all your cards pop out. They state 5 to 6 cards, but it's going to depend on the thickness of those. They provide you this money clip that you can stick on the back of it. Now, it's really cool because I kind of messed around with it when I first got it and I threw it on there. I was like, that's not the position I wanted it in. So I was torn because I was like, oh, great, can I move it? And they actually provide you this material on the adhesive that's removable, and then you can just re-stick it on. Now, if it's a little dirty, you can clean it off, and then you can just reapply it. So I'll give you a shot example of what that looks like. So if you throw the money clip right there, it's not moving anywhere. Now, if you want to shift it, or take it off, and say you want to throw it lower, and again, it's on there tight. So nicely done. I was not expecting that kind of technology, but I think that's a nice touch. It's actually not talked about on their product description on their website, and I think that's a nice feature to really call out, so that way you can understand that, hey, by some chance you mess up, put it on the wrong position, how can you rearrange it, right? The cards I have in here are just some random stuff that I have. These aren't typically the things I carry, but for the sake of confidentiality and privacy, I didn't put any of my actual information on the cards that I'm using, but just give you an idea. So if you want to add cards in there, you can just keep it in a closed position, grab the cards that you want to throw in, and pop it right in. No risk of coming out, unless if you don't have enough cards, there might be an issue. So let's take 3 cards instead. So if you put 3 cards in here, oh, it still stays in. I was wrong. One thing I do want to call out, if you have multiple cards, you'll easily be able to extract the last one, the first one, but the middle ones will take a little bit more effort. You do have to be more strategic about how you grab the middle ones. So that's one thing that you may face and encounter, is if you want to try to grab a card that's in the middle of the stack, you might have to pull some from the back first. It's not really an issue. This is really quick access. So really nicely done. I really like the design on this one. Again, this is specific to the Wasteland. And another unique feature of the Wasteland is that, I don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to pull the mic down. So if you're someone that likes to fidget with things, this is great for that. This is something kind of almost soothing, right? They have 2 other different models, and they have different tactile feedback. One is actually completely smooth, and they have another one where there's less pinballs in it than this one does. So this one has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's what I'm hearing. Well, that's what I counted. The other one they have, it's kind of, I think it's between 3 to 5, so a lot less. This is great if you're someone who does like that tactile feedback. It kind of gives you, without looking, you know that you've actually pulled out your cards. Very nicely done. It's the material on this, it's, you know, for it being a slim metal wallet, it is very slim. Just kind of give you a comparison. This is a wallet, just, you know, the regular bifold wallets that you get. This is probably the most common wallet I grew up with until slimline wallets started becoming popular, especially made out of different materials and metal ones. As you can see, well, I mean, with a bifold wallet, you can have a little bit more access. Everything's more separated out. But they're not as common anymore, I think, especially in the EDC community. People are leaning towards more minimalistic carry, kind of just take what you really need. If you're like me, I only carry actually 3 cards, and I have it currently set up on the back of my phone, which is the phone I'm using to record. But also to give you another comparison, this is about the same thickness or height as an iPhone. Can't remember which model this is, but I don't know, I think 11 maybe. Yeah. So the same height as an iPhone, but much smaller overall. We can take a look at some dimensions as well. So the weight of the PunCube wallet is coming in at 1.87 ounces, extremely light. You throw on the money clip, and you're looking at 2.68 ounces. How about if we throw some cards in there? What is the weight going to look like? 2.82 with some cards, 3.63 with the money clip. Let's take a look at some dimensions overall. They have theirs listed in metric system, so I'm going to go ahead and get this measured out so we can look at it in inches. So this is coming in at 3.78 of an inch in terms of the length. The width is coming in at 2.38 of an inch. And the height or the thickness, that's looking like 1/4 of an inch. Obviously, none of that includes the money clip. That's going to add a different dimension. Now, I do want to show you that the slimness of this wallet does fit well with multiple different pants or shorts. So these are just some basketball shorts. You throw this in your pocket, you can barely see that thing. If you're gonna take a look at a pair of jeans, go ahead and throw that in there. Kind of just disappears. Like if you really press down, you might see the contour. With the money clip, and just something I want to call about the money clip before we move on. If you're going to use the money clip, I would, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed. I'm right-handed, so if I pull the wallet out, my instinctive, the way I'm going to instinctively open the wallet, so to speak, is slide it this way, using my thumb to slide it out. So for me, I would want the money clip to be oriented so that way I would have my money here. Just to give you an idea, I don't really carry cash on me anymore, but here's a few bills. I'm going to fold it, so it's kind of, if you're looking at it, this is kind, let me see, how many bills did I have? I have 4 bills, so this is about almost like 16 bills if I fold it this way. The thickness of 16 bills. That fits perfectly right there. Let's throw this in the wallet, in the pocket, excuse me. It adds a little bit more depth to it, but not too much. Not enough to make a huge difference. And so what I was leaning towards again is that as I pull it out, I'm going to slide it with my thumb. So I would prefer my money clip to position in a ways that looks like this. Originally, when I first got it, I threw the money clip opposite. So let me show you what that looks like. And for some reason, it didn't sit right, but I think that's all personal preference. Not really a big deal in any way. You can, at least you have options the way you want to put that up. And they have other modules that go along with this. They have a MagSafe wallet. They have a coin and additional card holder, as well as an AirTag that you can combine to the back of this wallet. So these are just accessories to either increase your carry on the items you want, or kind of give you a customization in terms of if you want this on the back of your phone with a MagSafe, or you're someone that might misplace your wallet, just want to make sure you know where it is. You can add that AirTag on it. I also want to give a shot of this and what it looks like in the back pocket. Now, the traditional wallets, at least what I've grown up with, has always been carried in the back pocket. Right? For instance, a bifold, leather bifold. You throw that in the back, and then after a while, you're going to walk around with this imprint on the back of your jeans. So I don't really carry my wallets in the back pocket anymore. And I certainly would not want to carry a metal wallet in my back pocket, because once you sit down, that is not going to feel comfortable. Actually, I carry my phone in the back pocket, and when I sit down, I'll always pull it out. Usually I'll just throw it into my front pocket. So something to keep in mind. I personally don't enjoy sitting on things, a wallet, a phone, whatever it may be. I don't think this would be conducive in that type of carry. So certainly more tailored towards a front pocket carry. If you're like me, I do carry a few things. So I usually have a knife, a pen. There are two of the most common things I carry. And then depending on the time of day, what I'm doing, if I'm going out towards the night, or if I need a flashlight, I'll throw that in there as well. And just for funsies, I do have a pry bar that I will carry every so often. I kind of want to give you a shot of what my daily carry looks like. If you want to add a wallet to it, I think it's a nice addition, especially if you have a bunch of cards that you need to that's your daily carry, your necessities to keep on you. All right, so to give you a better idea of what it looks like in my pockets with what I've just shown you on what I carry, this will probably go in my back pocket, and I'll usually take it out once I sit down. But if you've got the slimline metal wallet from PunCube, the Mech Wallet, you can go ahead and throw that in either one of your pockets. I don't typically put anything into the pockets where I carry my knife. I don't mind the wear, but I'm more concerned about chipping the blade, or just, if I don't need to, I won't. So I'm going to throw this in the pocket where, well, there's a lot of stuff on this side, right? But it fits perfectly well in there. As many things as I have on this pocket, clipped on this pocket, there's still enough space to go ahead and get that Mech Wallet in there. You can easily purchase one of these from their website directly, and I'll throw a link below. I believe the aluminum version currently, the last time I checked, at the time of this recording, is on October 28th. And so the price on these are $69.99 for the aluminum version, and it will vary by either the aluminum or the titanium version. So the titanium is quite the jump in price. It's around $200 for the titanium version. I think that's a bit high, but titanium is a more durable and long-lasting material. So when I've been carrying this a bit, I have picked up a little bit of wear. You see a little bit of a pin size mark right there. I personally like wear on my EDC gear just because it gives it character. It kind of makes it mine. Don't think this will have any issues holding up to a little bit of, maybe you drop it on the floor. I really like this wallet. I just happen to be having had used a MagSafe attachment to my phone for the past 3 to 5 years. Can't remember how long it's been. So I don't typically buy wallets anymore just because of that. I keep 3 cards on me. And so I don't need the extra space for the cards. But if you're someone who does carry around 4 to 6 cards that are just necessities for you on the daily, this is a great option. Again, they do provide you the additional accessories. So if you don't want the money clip, take that off. If you're like me, I rarely carry cash. And when I do, I just throw it in my pocket. But if you want to get the attachments, you can, again, get the accessories to expand, put more cards in, or maybe some coins. You can also add the MagSafe, so that way you can stick on the back of your phone, or you can get the AirTag, which allows it to be tracked. I really like the fidget factor on this one. It's if you're a knife guy like myself, I'm sure you've come across moments where you're just flicking your knife, opening your knife. It's kind of therapeutic. and I can certainly see the appeal of this wallet as well for that reason. They've done a really good job with the mechanics. I've been sliding this out and in for the past couple weeks, and it's held up great. Hasn't lost any of its haptic feedback. Yeah, it's kind of fun to do. But excellent option. I think there are other competitive pricings. If you're not someone who actually typically wants a slim metal wallet, and you're used to the bifolds, you can probably go, if you don't need that tactile feedback, kind of a fidget factor, having something that's just a bifold wallet, you could get it for cheaper, right? So something to keep in mind if you want to upgrade your EDC gear. I think PunCube has done an excellent job with their Mech Wallet. This again is the Wasteland aluminum version. I will have all this available links posted in the description below, so check that out. Truly appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay frosty.